I'm Jonathan Ortmans, president and founder of the Global Entrepreneurship Network. What we're about is creating an opportunity for anybody, anywhere, to unleash their idea. We want to make sure that the guy that's got the worst deal on the planet has an opportunity. At the Global Entrepreneurship Network, we've built one global entrepreneurship ecosystem that allows anyone on the planet to be able to connect, understand, support, and celebrate the entrepreneurs that represent so much promise for our future. We went in with the belief that we could create a common culture across the globe in the interest of entrepreneurship and innovation. We learned a lot of techniques and tools about, ultimately, how do you build a community that's across the world? How do you cross national boundaries and cultures and religions and languages? We discovered something that was common in all people. They have this enthusiasm and curiosity about making the world a better place. We tried to provide some structure, but allow a lot of flowers to be blooming the way they wanted to. We have divided our work into 4 primary cornerstones. We want to be able to connect everybody across any aspects of an entrepreneurial ecosystem to find peers, find markets, and find opportunities. Secondly, we want to understand the field better. We want to elevate the field based on research and data. And then thirdly, we're working carefully to provide the best support programs we can find. The last part is we like to celebrate. It's where we began with Global Entrepreneurship Week, which is the notion of making the role of the entrepreneur be perceived around the world as being a force for good, as being the individuals who are able to create new value in our societies and can really set an example for all of our citizens in the way we go about living our lives. Entrepreneurs are the great equalizers. They bring the ability of anybody to be able to have the opportunity no matter where they come from in the world. That promise of entrepreneurship is always what's empowered our community.
People planning for events directly to businesses operating in the events planning industry. So we've identified 2 problems within the events planning industry, which is businesses operating in the industry such as photographers, designers, decor and catering companies, to mention a few, are struggling to connect to clients. Michael below is an example. His business is closing due to poor brand visibility. Another problem we've identified is that people planning for events struggle to find reliable, available, and affordable businesses to render the required services. Sarah of Bugs is an example. She's a busy mom planning a birthday party for her child. What Sarah and other people planning for events will do is log on to a social media platform and ask for recommendations of businesses that can render the required services. So when she receives recommendations, if she receives recommendations, these businesses may be unavailable, unreliable, or unaffordable. So this gap illustrates the problem that we are solving. This is an illustration of how social media works and why it does not solve the problem identified is that social media is noisy and crowded and people are easily overwhelmed when looking for businesses to render the services. As a solution, our platform, Damonako, bridges the gap by providing for a simplified process of finding the ideal businesses to render the services. We provide people with access to reliable, available, and affordable businesses. And businesses operating in the industry will sign up and be hosted on our platform and be supplied with clients as well as advertising for their business. As you can see, Sarah and Michael are now happy because we've developed an end-to-end solution for both parties. Next slide, please. So our app is a one-stop shop for advertising, getting clients, as well as finding reliable and available businesses to render the services. Our app serves as a marketplace where businesses operating in the event planning industry, as well as clients, can meet and consult online. We also provide instant options of available businesses that can render the required services within the specified budget. We provide real-time updates and availability of services. And most importantly, clients are able to compare and estimate prices in real time without having to wait for businesses to provide formal quotations during business hours. We therefore provide 24/7 efficiency for the client. Next slide. So we've built a community of businesses operating in the event planning industry and have connected over 100 customers to these businesses through packages ranging from 1,600 to 2,600 Namibian dollars. We've also conducted research to validate the need for our business and to show that people are willing to use our platform. We also have a prototype to show how the app will work. Next slide. Next slide. And these are just our 4-year projections on revenue as well as users. Because the goal really is to have people from across the globe use our platform to help plan their events. We want to make it possible for a tailor in Namibia, for example, to render his or her services to a client in Nigeria. Next slide. Our team is made up of myself, a visionary leader, as well as an All Africa SME Development and Mentorship Program alumni. We have a qualified software developer. We have a qualified applications analyst. And we also have an advisor who advises us on the legal aspect of the business, for example, the privacy policy. And she's also majoring for her master's degree in international trade. Next slide. Next slide. Okay, so we are asking for your support to grow our business as well as for your faith in Damonako's vision. The support we need, for example, is mentorship as well as business advice and references, particularly to help us market our platform and have it used by people across the globe. Thank you.
To our next speaker, and she is a very special guest from a very far away country. Aminat from Nigeria. She will introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I understand it's afternoon in Namibia, but it's still morning here. So good morning, good afternoon. Just to check, can everyone hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
Okay, awesome. Awesome. So my name is Aminat Adibowale, and I'm a tech and business journalist here in Nigeria. And it's really a pleasure to be here among everyone and to get to share my story. So really what I want to talk about today is my story as a woman in tech, how I got into the tech journalist sector and how I've been able to grow my career from when I started to now, and how, you know, every other woman in tech can also do the same. So it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a lot like a story. So just flow along and just prepare to have a nice time. Okay. So the first thing when I applied for my undergraduate studies in the University of Ibadan, I wanted to be an aeronautical engineer and then, you know, eventually be a pilot. I think actually probably everyone, maybe every child has had a dream of becoming a pilot when they were young. So I also had that dream. Before I wanted to become a pilot, I wanted to become an oceanographer. I wanted to become a dancer. I wanted to become an accountant. And then, you know, eventually I settled for mechanical engineering. So I chose mechanical engineering in the University of Ibadan because that was the closest course that I could find to aeronautical engineering at the time. So I started learning. It's a 5-year course, and then I started learning. And then in my first year, I volunteered with the press. I've always liked writing and, you know, just talking to people I used to pretend that I was on radio shows, and I would host the show myself, talk to people, just gist, make people laugh around me, and all of that. So I've always been very interested in creative, like creative writing, creative speaking, talking to people, and all of that. That has always been interesting for me. So in my first year in school, I joined the press, and then I started as a writer, and then I moved on to managing editor, features editor, and then in my final year, I became the editor-in-chief. And then, after we had done the whole writing the traditional way, we used to publish our post on the traditional blackboard. And then I thought, with the whole there are websites everywhere. Even though we're a small school press, we should be able to put our post online so that everybody can find it, whether they're students or whether there are people outside of the university community. And so I called my team, and together we started working. We started working on building a WordPress blog for the press. And then that was the very first time that as a press body, we had an online presence for the blog. So that was like my first approach at using technology to create a wider platform for our press. But before I even got to that time, I used to do a lot of learning how to code, because I like tech. So whether it's writing, whether it's cooking, I just used to want to know, how can I do this? How can I do this with tech? How can I make it better with tech? So that has always been a very interesting part of me all the while that I was growing up. So when I was in school, I learned how to code, how to build mobile apps, how to build web applications, and all of that. But along the line, I decided that, okay, now I know how to do all of these things, but what I really want to do is, what problems can I solve with all of these skills? How can I build a website that is going to solve a problem? What problem do I want to solve with the website and the mobile apps and all of that? And so I took a break from that, and I started thinking, and at that point I came up with an idea for a fashion tech platform. I'm going to talk about that later. But right now, before I go to the fashion tech, I just wanted to now go into how I became a tech journalist itself. I said I used to like writing, and then I became the editor-in-chief. So in my final year, a big tech media platform in Nigeria, technext.ng, they were looking for new writers to join their team. So they wanted people that had an understanding of the tech space. They wanted people that were tech savvy. They wanted people that could think, very smart people that could think on their feet and were not afraid to talk to people and ask questions and all of that. So I was really interested. I was really excited when I came across the opportunity, and then I applied, and I got selected. Actually, I was told my application was the best from everyone that did. I don't know how true that is, but the bottom line is I got selected, and then I got to work with them. So in the interim, the bulk of what I did as a tech journalist was to speak with people, especially women in tech. So I'm very passionate about getting more women into the tech space, and helping women entrepreneurs, and sometimes not even women entrepreneurs, just like helping every entrepreneur that is doing one thing or the other in the entrepreneurship space to build their business, to learn from other people. So because of that, I used to speak a lot to women entrepreneurs. I would interview a lot of top women entrepreneurs here in Nigeria. I've spoken with Orele. She's the founder of Women Tech-preneurs in Nigeria here. So when I was speaking with them, I got to know some of the crucial things that, some of the crucial challenges that women have when they are building a career in tech. And, I experienced some of those things firsthand myself. And that's going to form the bulk of what I want to share today, which is, how do you grow a career in tech? So for women in the tech space, one of the first challenges that we have is this stereotype. So people feel like if you're a lady, or you're a woman and you're doing something in tech, maybe you're learning how to code, or you're doing some other thing, maybe product development or some other thing in tech, or maybe you're a tech journalist. They feel like if you're coming into this space, I don't know, you're probably coming to come and maybe look for a man or something like that. So I don't know if that's the case in Namibia. And after I'm done, I think I would actually like to hear, like, what are some of the stereotypes that you've come across, as a woman in the tech space in Namibia. But in Nigeria here, some of the top women in tech that I've interviewed and spoken with, one of the challenges that they usually tell me they had when they were starting out is people thought that the reason they came to tech was not because they wanted tech, not because they actually could do tech. People thought they came there to come and look for suitors, or they came there to come and joke, or they came there just because of I just want to do tech and all of that. So they didn't give the women enough credit. And this is just to say that there are still people out there that don't give women enough credit for being in the tech space. They think that we're just there to waste time. We're just there to, maybe connect with other people. And we don't really have any suitable goal in mind for being there. That's not true. That's not true. So that's one of the challenge that women have when they're growing, when they're attempting to grow a career in the tech space. The other challenge is funding. So you're a woman entrepreneur, you're building your business. You at some point you need to raise funds, because it's either you're bootstrapping the business, which means that maybe you have some family and friends that are patronizing you and that are putting money into the business when you're starting out, for you to at least gain a solid footing. It's either you're bootstrapping that way, or you have some cash. Maybe you got a grant for the business and all of that, or you're looking for a venture capital funding for your business. And from my conversation with a lot of other women in the tech space, a major challenge is usually raising funds, because investors are still more partial to male-led startups than to female-led startups. So that's why we're now having initiatives like, in Nigeria, we have the First Check, which is just a VC fund that is specifically for women-led startups. So we need more of these initiatives to be able to support our women in tech, to be able to support their business. Linda, I'm so sorry. I'm very sure I'm going to mispronounce the name of your startup, Monaco. So I'm not sure that's the name, but I think that we also need to support more women-led businesses. We need to help them in the area of raising funds. As if you find yourself in the space of being an investor, you need to be open to the idea of funding a female-led tech startup, because we need those funding for our businesses to grow. So that's another of the challenge. Now, looking at how do you grow a career in the tech space? I think I'm going to share 4 things that I've done personally that have worked for me in growing my career from when I started out to where I am right now. So the first thing I do is networking. You can't joke with your network. You have to meet people. What we really need most times, it's not money. It's people, because when you have the money, you're going to give it to someone. So, but if you have the person that can solve the problem, or that can team up with you to solve the problem, then in most cases, you find out that you actually don't need the money. You just need a way to exchange value. So your network is very, very important. I have meetings because I want to meet new people. I want to meet possible investors. I want to hear more from people that can help me, with my career, with my business. So your networking is important. Then the second one that I'm going to talk about is upskilling. There is no alternative for the best. So whatever you are doing, make sure that you are the best at what you do. Take courses, get a mentor, learn from people and just make sure that you're improving in whatever you're doing in the tech space. You're a woman, so most times in the tech space we need to work twice as hard to prove that we can do the same things that our male counterparts are doing. So just continue to upskill yourself and make sure that you get better every day at what you do. The third thing I do is I ignore the negatives. So I hear people saying, so you're a woman in tech, you have a fashion tech startup, or you're a tech journalist. Are you really sure you should be here? You look like maybe you should be cooking or you should be doing something else. You know, those archaic mindsets. There are still people that will come at you with these negative outcomes, these negative words, but ignore the negatives, focus on your part and, pour your energy into it. And then the last thing I do is I take care of myself. So we can't ignore it. We're women. You have periods, you have your period, your cycle, and all of that. Sometimes you feel tired. Sometimes you have headaches. You naturally, your hormones act up in ways that they don't do for the male counterpart. So you need to be extra sensitive to yourself. You need to take care of yourself, understand your peculiarities, understand your moods and your hormones. Drink enough water, and just make sure that you take care of yourself so that you can perform as optimally as possible in your work. Please. So if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the comment section and we'll get back to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Aminat. I was about to stop you with the bell, but you made good timing. I actually allowed you 2 minutes extra because it was so interesting. I just wanted to learn and listen more and hear more. I want to say also thank you to Linda, who presented her startup before Aminat. And I am so happy that Linda is here today. And we have some other young people here. I see you, Abiatar, he's a coder. I see Festus, I think he's also a coder. He's also got a tech startup. But my impression that I'm getting is that we have like 2 or 3 female ones on here, and that is so sad. And I would like us to change that situation, just like what Aminat said now. We need to move from where we are now to a different space in tech entrepreneurship, and especially women tech entrepreneurship. You should believe in yourself. She stated it so nicely. So please share this afterwards. Festus, Abiatar, all of you guys whom I know on here now, please share this and tell other people to listen to Aminat's story. And now we were in Namibia, then we went to Nigeria, and now we are going to South Africa. And this guy is a big and tall guy. He looks a bit older, but he's young, successful group CEO of ZenCon. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to talk because I, depending on how time runs and the discussion goes, I may allow you 1 minute more, David. But
okay.
Welcome from the Orange Free State in South Africa. And I know the temperatures are very low there today.
It is. Thank you so much, Joanna. And I want to say thank you to Linda and Aminat for their presentation. It was fantastic. My name is David Uwa. I am an entrepreneur, an owner and group CEO of ZNND Group. I used to be the former chairperson of the Black Management Forum, Bloemfontein branch. I've always been a great believer as a BMF chairperson. I've always gone into the empowerment of women and development. We've always looked at the empowerment of SMMEs and then managerial development. We actually live in a technology world right now, and everything that we do is making the globe or the world smaller making it a global village. And part of what I do in my company, services that I offer, we are into infrastructure development, which is in consulting and construction. We are also mainly into your renewable energy and smart meters. So in the smart meters, there's a lot of technology that has really, come into it as well. And I am a Pan-Africanist, and I do business in various African countries. To name a few: South Africa, Uganda, Rwanda, South Sudan, Tanzania, Nigeria, Ghana, and I do not let anything limit me from moving beyond my environment or moving beyond where I am based to engage in business. So I am very, very excited, and I am very happy to be part of the startup Huddlers, and I look forward to more engagement, and I look forward to great participation in the startup Huddler. So thank you for having me. I don't know if my time is up, Joanna.
No, you still have 3 minutes left.
Okay. I would like to really state what tech entrepreneur is. A tech entrepreneur is a woman or a man who applies their ideas using technology such as your app, creating your social media apps, creating your apps for various functions. I see my bell has rang. So do I continue, or do I just
please go ahead?
Okay.
I'll stop you.
So as we move along in the artificial intelligence space, we need more women to dominate that space. The possibilities is beyond, and I am so excited. Being one of the pioneers of women empowerment, I'm very excited to see women across Africa in the tech business, in the tech industry, and you have various people who have made meaningful contributions to various tech companies that I have come across, and I'm excited, and I believe that with such we are going to connect every part of Africa, and we're going to see women in big business. Technology being pioneered by women in the African continent, and I'm very excited. Saying that I found from a lady called Tiffany Pham. She's the founder of Mogul. I quote, "When I look back to my young self, I will tell myself to be confident first and foremost, to believe in myself before anyone else, because if I believe in myself, then others will too. And ultimately, this confidence and belief in myself would enable me to enable other women around the world. It's about believing in your goals and what you are passionate about. And from that, others will become passionate about it too." End of quote. I believe that is a very inspiring, and that is a very motivating piece of words of encouragement. So I put this to all females in the African continent, in the tech space, to please be yourself, maximize, and the possibilities are endless. Thank you.
Thank you, David. You just made it. You have 10 seconds left. I love people who can manage their time. So now I'm going to say that we heard David speaking, but he said he works or he operates in a number of countries in Africa. But I would like to list him those African countries. I heard him saying Uganda, and that's where it stopped for me because my mind is busy with so many things. And I know you guys as young people are even more busy than me. So just mention the country names again, David, please.
Okay, sorry. It's Uganda, it's Rwanda, it's Kenya, it's South Sudan, it's Tanzania, it's Nigeria, and it's Ghana.
Okay, thank you. Then I would like to ask Aminat to make us a promise here in front of everybody, because she works also across Africa. I think she mentioned it lightly, but she didn't stress it enough. But she will bring us a Kenyan tech women startup story the next time we speak. Aminat.
Do you have a startup in mind?
I do. We'll talk offline about that. But I wanted one of your finds. I didn't want my finds. But okay, let's talk. I can see I put you on the spot there. So right now, thank you very much, David and Aminat and Linda. I would like to just call on Dr. Hafindi Matoko from the University of Namibia. I just met her earlier this week, I think a day or two ago, and I asked her whether she would like to join us. I also invited someone from NUST. She has been on and then she dropped off. All of us are very busy people, and Hafindi is also very busy. But please, Hafindi, if you would like to, please open your video so that we can see you, and start your screen. Unmute yourself so that you tell us a little bit about the AI that David referred to. And I think Aminat also referred to it. So she's the, she must tell you what she does, but she's supporting the head of the department, and which is a dear friend of mine, and she studied together with me, not at the same time. Obviously, I'm much older than her, but we were both on scholarships in the US. Now, I don't know about Hafindi that much, so I leave it up to her what she would like to share. Over to you. And she is busy with postdoctoral studies. But she looks to me like 25. She's got a lot of energy and a lot of guts. Over to you, Hafindi.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Johanna, for the opportunity to kind of just share about what we're doing. But as Johanna mentioned, my name is Hafindi Matoko, and I'm working at the University of Namibia. This is my third month there, actually. I've been doing postdoc research in Cape Town and Grahamstown in South Africa. So I'm working with the Pro Vice Chancellor for Research, Innovation and Development at the University of Namibia. And part of my role there is to be working to help facilitate the setting up of an innovation hub at the university. So part of that is to create a space to actually incubate students and their great ideas, because oftentimes when you're studying, you might have awesome ideas that might emerge from your research or from your projects that you're doing. But then once you leave, sometimes it just sort of stops there and nothing much happens. So we're trying to create the space for students and staff members to really groom their ideas. So we are launching the Innovation Hub. And part of that is that we put out a call for AI startups. specifically for AI startups. So this is a second call. So we've already had another call for just general tech, but now we'll be focusing on AI, and those are the students that I'll be working with specifically. And we've had about 9 submissions so far, and most of them are in agri-tech, which is also quite interesting. And so it's about 7 in agri-tech, 1 in rural development, and 1 in fintech specifically. And the past 2 weeks, we've been working with these students, preparing them for a pitch competition, which will be happening next week, Thursday, on the 5th of August. And the idea is to select 3 or 4 of the top students to be incubated at the university for 9 to 12 months. And we are also in conversations on what to do with those that don't end up being selected for the incubation period, so that they're also not just left hanging. So I'm pretty excited with what the students have sort of lined up for us. So it's quite a lot of diverse projects, some in pest control, some in vertical gardening, some in incubators and hatches using IoT. So it's quite interesting ideas that the students have. And I think in the next coming years, Namibia might be looking quite differently within the agricultural space. So yeah.
Thank you very much, Hafindi. I hope you don't mind me calling you doctor all the time, but we at Gen, we are sort of very relaxed mode when we speak. We don't like these so official things. Yes, maybe when the president is around, but otherwise.
Yeah, it's okay. I actually don't like titles. It's only when I got to UNAM, people use the title, and sometimes I actually get surprised that they're actually referring to me, because I'm just used to being called Hafindi, and I prefer it that way.
Okay, great. So I'm asking, thank you very much for sharing that information, because there are other techies online here that I've invited, and they are not female, but still they should be allowed to be part of processes in our country. And I just want them to get the knowledge of what is happening also out there.
Fanny, I am very, very impressed with what you're doing. And I happen to work with the Central University of Technology in the Free State, and they are in the process of starting an innovation hub. I would like to have and see a collaboration between the University of Namibia and the Central University of Technology in this AI process for the innovation hub, because it will really we could leverage, or they could leverage from yourself, from what you have researched upon, and what you have built upon. So this is basically what I'm looking at. I'm very excited. We in Free State, Bloemfontein as it is, we had this launch of artificial intelligence by the Central University of Technology. We had invited partners from government, and but there hasn't been much of movement on that. And people still don't understand what AI is and how AI fits into the process. So we're still there. So this is basically what I would want to have you from your university partner with the Central University of Technology. I could link up the collaboration or the relationship, if you permit me.
Yes, I'll be happy for that. I actually shared my email address in the chat already. That'll be great, because ideally it will be great to collaborate across the continent, because there are a lot of people doing amazing things, and we don't want to be duplicating, work when we can actually work together.
Yes.
So definitely.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you, David, for that question and the response from Hafindi. Anyone else, would you like to ask any of the speakers a question? You don't want to? Okay, then I'm calling on David. David, can you share your video with us? And
Yes.
Not that David. David
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I forgot.
I actually wanted to ask a question for Linda.
Okay,
if,
great.
If you permit me. Linda, I have been involved in the event management business, and I know quite a bit about it, but I have not yet seen an event management app, such as what you have created. So this is what you call innovation in that particular industry, and I am very, very keen to find out from you the app. You mentioned that you're able to render your services or your business across the African continent in any other part of Africa, which is something that you wouldn't do in your normal event management. You have to be physically there and with everything that you have to do. So I would like to know how that really works in terms of how can you offer your services across from where you are?
Thank you for the question, David. So the goal is actually to create a bigger market for businesses to operate in, right? So our platform actually allows businesses to consult online. Say, for example, someone is planning for a wedding in Nigeria and they want to make use of a designer in Namibia. They could then consult online, send measurements online through our platform, and my designer would then design the dress and send it over to Nigeria, for example. So that's just what I actually want to do, to allow people to consult online. Yeah.
All right.
David?
Have I answered your question?
Yes.
Yes, you did. It's actually it actually speaks a lot about how we can be able to, share the ceremony or the event across the continent. It would be good to have somebody from Namibia design something with the Namibian look and feel, or whichever way it is. So it's quite interesting. Thank you very much.
And just to highlight also, that's not the only goal. The goal is also, for example, to have businesses operating, for example, in Nigeria, and clients in Nigeria to actually connect through our platform. So it could be people from the same country actually planning their event, but online in the comfort of their home, for example, because honestly, our app just creates convenience, because we understand now that convenience is important more than ever. So someone could actually just, you don't have to meet with someone anymore at a cafe or something like that. You can actually plan your event in the comfort of your own home. That's the main goal. Yeah.
Fantastic. Great. Thank you.
Ja, dis op 'n call.
Thank you.
Ek nog gou as iemand anders wat praat.
Baie dankie.
Ek sal jou terugbel. As jy nog in Windhoek of as jy al op die plot. Okay, ek bel jou terug. Okay. Okay, so thank you, Linda. David, Buddhi, since we have two Davids here, I would like you to tell us what happened in the other competition. Do we have a result? And tell us about your application that you are using for safety on a bicycle.
Thank you, Ms. Joanna. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity. Yes, well, I just got out of another meeting, as I told Ms. Joanna over WhatsApp. Yes, I made it to the top 2 in the Boost Up competition to go to Finland in November.
Congratulations! Wow! Yes. So you're not number 1.
I actually came out number 1 yesterday, and we had to go between the three, they could only choose two. So I was one of the selected two today in the interviews.
I understand.
So, yes.
Because David's application is part of his whole idea, of his whole innovation. And the application is not as big a deal as the other part of the innovation. But you tell the story quickly. You've got 2 minutes.
Yes, what we do have is a smart helmet for cyclists or commuters, because we can see that many African countries have much larger populations, not like Namibia, where we are just 2.58 million people. So if you take countries like Nigeria, Nairobi, those guys are in the 80s, 50s, millions. So
120 million plus for Nigeria.
Yes, 120, yes, please. Sorry.
Unofficially.
Yes. So in countries like that, you will definitely, I know most of people use motorbikes. And that is obviously micro mobility or micro transportations. So they will need something like a helmet. So our helmet comes with an LED light at the back that you can pair with the controller. So that controller you put on a bicycle handle, then you can actually press left or right or stop, just to show the motorist at the back that you are now stopping or you are now turning left or right. Yes, the technology does already exist, but we just made few improvements, and we actually gave it more technology in terms of head protection, like head impact. We have 2 technologies inside the helmet that makes it easier for the cyclists or the riders to protect them. So definitely, I think this is going to be one of the best things that we can offer to Africa, not just in Namibia, because Namibia, obviously, we are still trying to promote it and to get our people starting to cycle, because City of Windhoek is also starting to do that. So yes, I believe that it could help many African countries. We're actually targeting the African countries with bigger populations. And Namibia, yes, we need to start at home. We need to give back home, but we are actually targeting those countries with bigger.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Who's the other guy that came out on top with you, or the other person?
Nero. Is Nero.
Oh, I love Nero's idea.
Yes.
So what Nero does, he's taking, I was talking last night about always on with you guys. In South Africa, when you go to bigger centra, you have always on, where you can connect to the internet. So Nero is is already set up one local authority in the south with the similar type of network provision. And then if a person goes out of reach of the spread around the town, we don't have cities that many, we only have one city. So the smaller places where we live, if the person go out of the reach, then he has to buy a voucher, and then he will jump on other networks. So for me, that is absolutely fantastic when you think of the community impact. And I'm sorry, I also asked him to join us, but I don't see him here. Let me not take your space. Damola, do you want to ask a question or contribute or just say something? You can unmute yourself and open your video if you don't want to. You can speak without the video. Hello? Okay, Ben. Would you like to say something? Oh, it seems like nobody is listening to us. Okay, it's Fina. Not even hello and goodbye. Okay, I think then we've come to the end of our session today, because this is quite strange. Hafindi, I hear you laughing. Maybe you want to say something.
I'm sorry. Hello?
Yes?
It's Aina Ita here.
Yes.
I'm actually in the event because I'm an event consultant, and wanted, because I missed the speech for Linda, and what I hear, because she does some tech in event management. Because I would like to have, if I can have her email address, if maybe I can ask her personally some of the just for networking purpose, and some of the things that I actually, or details that I would like to know regarding the event management planning.
Okay. Her email is actually very easy, but you can also write it in the chat box. It's just linda.ruben, like you see it on the screen, @gmail.com. Very easy to remember.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. And welcome, Aina, and thank you for joining us.
All right.
David, any last words from the speakers?
I'm actually very interested in the last presenter, David. I think his innovative idea is very, very good for the African continent. I think it speaks to a lot of safety precautions that we need to adhere to, because in Africa, motorbikers don't really wear helmets. So that will really do quite well. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Who's next? Aminat, your last words?
Okay. Yeah, so it's been a very great time listening to everyone talk. I just want to encourage as many people as are here, to continue doing whatever it is that you're doing in tech. Continue to upskill yourself, attend events like this, and network, meet people, learn about new ideas, and find ways to also push your business forward. And also, Linda, I'm rooting for your business. Yeah. Thank you all.
Thank you. Hafindi, would you like to say one or two words, or is it okay? Can we move on?
The only thing I have to say is that this is pretty exciting, and it's always exciting to hear people's ideas and what they have in store for the country, for the continent. So I'm really excited, and I hope to see more and more of these kind of conversations and more of these kind of innovations coming through for us. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Hafindi. David.
Well,
yes, thank you. Last word.
You missed. Okay.
Last
words.
Last word. I
was actually calling on the other David.
Oh, it wasn't me. Sorry, I got so excited.
David,
because
go
yes,
ahead,
thank
please.
you. It's actually a great privilege to actually share this space with a lot of very great minds and great tech minds in the African continent. And I would like to encourage everyone on this platform. I would like to encourage the startup hodlers to not limit yourself. Not limit yourself, believe in yourself, and the sky will always be the limit for you. And we need to work in a process where we need to intertrade our ideas within the African continent. And I believe that is going to set Africa on a different path. So as a continent, we need to begin to look at doing business in the tech area. And I would like to encourage everyone, and please carry on, and the sky is the limit. Thank you.
Now the other David.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Joanna, once again. I just want to encourage, I know this is a platform, it's actually for women today. And our CEO is actually a woman, so I would really love to see more women coming into leadership, as Mr. David Uwa was talking about, if I'm not mistaken, by the time I came in. So it's actually good what is happening here, and I just want to thank Ms. Johanna and the rest of the team, Aminat and Linda, for such a great platform. I really wish the women would have been here, but they couldn't make it. But more platforms like this is something that we want to see, and I'll always encourage them to join us next time for this. So what you guys are doing is really good, and we appreciate everything. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, David. And I know you speak from the bottom of your heart. David, I'm one of his many mentors, and I believe in his abilities to take his product far. I would like to say thank you to Hafindi, who took out the time in a busy schedule to say a few words. And Aminat, thank you for taking out the time. And I love that story so much. You should put it into writing. You are a writer. Write your own memoir. Start with it now already. Don't wait until you are 65. Start publishing yourself. I've got another person on our group of people who is a self-publishing author supporter. And I mean, in Nigeria, there must be many. In Namibia, I only know about one. But yeah, take the opportunity and put your story out there so that others can learn from it. And Linda, big or small, it doesn't matter. I think David has said it. Thank you for taking the time out and presenting your application. I think after your pitch last week, you had several connections, and here Aina reached out to you now on this call. And every time you can, like, I think Aminat also said it, whenever you can connect with people and talk about your business, do that. So thank you, Linda. And I'm sorry, I haven't asked you for last words. Please go ahead and do that. And then I'm just going to say, it's now the end of the call, and Event Solutions can just bring up our going out agreement. Okay, Linda? She's smiling so nicely.
Okay, thank you everyone for actually taking time and coming to join us during this wonderful conversation. I just wish more women actually took part and came to watch, because I remember taking part in the FemTech competition, and they mentioned that they received over 100 applications from female tech-run entrepreneurs in the businesses in Namibia. So we actually have a lot of female tech entrepreneurs in Namibia, over 100. So hopefully more of them will be able to join this conversation next time. And I'd just like to encourage each and every African entrepreneur to start small while thinking big. Yes.
Thank you. And thank you everyone who joined us. And thank you for those who watched on Facebook. And you can still share. You can go to my profile. I think Event Solutions put it on my profile this time, this live streaming, so, and share it from there. My profile name is Johanna Nashipahe Kluter. You can just look me up. I'm all over the internet. I'm not scared of my name being known by other people. And I see a lot of thank yous. People are asking, David, share your email. David, share your email. And I think it's our David from Namibia. Oh, did I? Sorry. I gave through the wrong email address for Linda. It's lindaruben0303@gmail.com. Linda, please connect with the lady, and also Aina, if you don't get hold of her or she does not get hold of you, just come to me online. You will find me and I'll connect you with them.
I already dropped an email to Linda. I already dropped an email to her.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
I I'll check your email.
All right, then. Thank you.
All right. Take care, be safe, and we love you.
I'm Jonathan Ortmans, president and founder of the Global Entrepreneurship Network. What we're about is creating an opportunity for anybody, anywhere, to unleash their idea. We want to make sure that the guy that's got the worst deal on the planet has an opportunity. At the Global Entrepreneurship Network, we've built one global entrepreneurship ecosystem that allows anyone on the planet to be able to connect, understand, support, and celebrate the entrepreneurs that represent so much promise for our future. We went in with the belief that we could create a common culture across the globe in the interest of entrepreneurship and innovation. We learned a lot of techniques and tools about, ultimately, how do you build a community that's across the world? How do you cross national boundaries and cultures and religions and languages? We discovered something that was common in all people. They have this enthusiasm and curiosity about making the world a better place. We tried to provide some structure, but allow a lot of flowers to be blooming the way they wanted to. We have divided our work into 4 primary cornerstones. We want to be able to connect everybody across any aspects of an entrepreneurial ecosystem to find peers, find markets, and find opportunities. Secondly, we want to understand the field better. We want to elevate the field based on research and data. And then thirdly, we're working carefully to provide the best support programs we can find. The last part is we like to celebrate. It's where we began with Global Entrepreneurship Week, which is the notion of making the role of the entrepreneur be perceived around the world as being a force for good, as being the individuals who are able to create new value in our societies and can really set an example for all of our citizens in the way we go about living our lives. Entrepreneurs are the great equalizers. They bring the ability of anybody to be able to have the opportunity no matter where they come from in the world. That promise of entrepreneurship is always what's empowered our community.